SJH Miles, I say 2023. I'm going to try to do a lot more content. Hopefully, a lot of the things that I show is helping people that are on their journey as an independent dispatcher. One of the things that I definitely want to say is whatever that you're doing, just don't give up. Continue to understand that there will be times where things will happen and certain things that you have to resolve. And as long as you're looking for a solution and not focused on the problem, you're going to be okay. I just wanted to do a quick video, man, to kind of show you guys what go on just in my day, kind of maybe get some information and, just maybe get people's point of view on a few things. I've got a dry van 53 foot that is going to be in Middlebury, Indiana, but he has to go back to Scottsboro, Indiana by tomorrow. So I'm sorry, Scottsboro, Alabama by tomorrow. The thing that I'm going to do in my DAP board, as you guys can see here, when I'm searching, I'm going to search for, van and van hotshot. The truck is pulling out of Middlebury, Indiana. And then in this particular point here where I know exactly where he has to go, which is going to be Scottsboro, Alabama, I'm going to place that and place the date for today. I'm also going to look for loads within 150 miles of Middlebury. But I'm also going to look for loads going to 150-mile radius of Scottsboro. So that way I know I can get him close to where he needs to be. Just looking for the best solution. This is a 53-foot dry van. He only likes to scale 43,000 pounds. And I'm going to look back for 24 hours. I'm going to hit search. Now, typically when I first start, when you guys are looking for loads, my thing is always, being a carrier as well, I always understand the cost that these carriers actually absorb. So the main thing for me is I want to make as much money as possible and I want to spend as least as possible. But on the other hand, I want to say it has to be something that makes financial sense. For example, I would see a load like this that says 3,000 when you first start dispatching, and that's all you're looking at. But I'm not taking into consideration the actual trip, the deadhead to get there. And then for this one, I'm going to also take into consideration the deadhead for them to get to this destination of Scottsboro, Alabama. These deadhead miles are all going to be fuel costs. And then we have to think about the trip. But when I open it up, I want to look at everything that's going on with this load, and I see that it's a round trip, so this was not work. As the date is right now, it is Wednesday, December 21st. I'm in Michigan, in the Midwest. We have a big storm coming, so we have to take this into consideration. So this is the reason why I'm trying to get him south as quickly as possible, because this driver does not like to drive in the snow. To give you a little bit more information, he is a power only. So he has a trailer loadout where he was paid an amount to go from Scottsboro, Alabama to Middlebury, Indiana with a trailer. He's going to drop that trailer at the location in Middlebury and then pick up another trailer to return it back to Scottsboro. So to prevent him from driving that same drive empty and deadheading back, they're letting us use this actual trailer. So we're going to use that. That's why we're picking up in Middlebury. And this is why we have to go to Scottsboro. So we're working on doing that so we can make sure that this trip remains profitable for this driver. This is one of my better drivers, one of probably the best driver. He has a lot of experience and a lot of trucking knowledge. So what we're trying to do is make sure that we get him there. So originally what I want to do is I want to look, because we know where this trip is going, I'm going to look and think about the miles from deadhead to get there, the origin, and also the destination. And I'm going to look for the best load for him. This driver wants, to make a certain amount of money. Has very low bills. CPM is very low. CPM, for you guys that don't know, that's going to be cost per mile. It's going to be really, really low, but we still want to make sure that this is actually benefiting him. These fifth wheel freight ones were the ones that I was looking at. When I spoke with the gentleman, though, they did let me know that these are going to be 24-hour drop trailers where you have to leave the trailer. This trailer has to be back by tomorrow, so we're not going to do that. We're going to go ahead and kind of look for something that will get them there. One of the things that I want to show you guys as well, I don't blindly dispatch. So I don't just dispatch the truck because I look at the amount and I may say, hey, the cost per mile or the rate per mile may be really high. It's low deadhead. That all can be a great thing. But the thing is, when you're dispatching, I always tell people, just from my experiences, I'm not a super professional, but I do know I can tell you what happens with me and how I remain to be successful. And I will say is that I have to always look at the destination of where that actual load is going. One of the things that I like to do, if you're using Trucker's Edge, I like to look at the in and out freight that's coming in and out of the location that I'm going to. I also will look at the actual location. Let's say if I'm going to a location, I will look there just to see what the loads look like in that area for that current day, so I know what type of market that I'm going into. But if you're using, that power, or you'll be able to use a lot of the other things and a lot of the other features. This is why I like this so much. I also, I check the market conditions. I want to look at the areas that I'm going in. I also look at it for the current day and the prior day, which you can change that here in the time frame. And I want to kind of see where these markets go. He's in a good spot. Indiana's always really good, but as you can see, he's closer to this western side of Michigan, which is really hot as well. And we're going down to Alabama. So this is going to make us a good load. We're going to get a good rate per mile and get them back. But like I said, I'm able to check here and look at my market conditions. I don't want to dispatch someone, let's say, from an area that's hot, and I'm going to, let's say, Oklahoma, and where it's ice cold at. I got to know that, the rate per mile that I get to go in there has to be really high for me to go there, because I understand it's going to either have to deadhead, or I'm going to have to take a lot less money coming out, getting to the next area. When I'm dispatching for him, I'm actually looking, any person that I'm dispatching for. So we're looking here at the load board. I'm also checking the market conditions. One of the other main things, let me slow down. One of the other main things that we don't talk about that's very important is looking at our weather. Seeing what's going on. And as we said, we've got snow coming from most of the country. It's going to be pretty heavy. So keep that in mind. You have to be considerate of your drivers and think about being in that truck and dealing with those conditions. I've drove before. If you haven't, I definitely want you to kind of be sympathetic to the things that these drivers are facing. So you as a dispatcher, you want to also understand that this can cause delays and different things of that nature. So we want to make sure that we get this a weather map, whatever type of weather map that you're looking at, just making sure that, you're viewing it and looking at the route that your driver may take. Also having a map, right where you can go in. I use Google Maps. I also use Hammer, which is a truck navigation app, but I also use, Google Maps just so I can see, where things are and where everybody's going. Like I said, market conditions is going to tell us, what area that we're going to. And when you're working with your carriers as well, you also, one of the things that I like to check, I'm not sure that everybody else does it, but I look at the actual national rates for the type of equipment that I'm dispatching. Unfortunately, this doesn't, I know it's a lot of guys that does box trucks. This doesn't show you box trucks, but it will give you van rates, reefer rates, flatbed rates. You'll be able to see these national rates and the capacity and the demand. I think that the capacity and demand is kind of on a 30-day run. So this one is still showing November, even though it's December. So I guess it gathers that data for the month and then it presents it for the previous month. But you can also use this when you're looking to find what type of equipment that you're going to be dispatching, to kind of look at, what rates you're going to be looking at with doing that, knowing that the flatbed rates are going to be higher than your dry van rates. Seeing that your actual reefer rates will be higher than your actual, dry van rates, I'm sorry. And so you can see here in the Midwest, for flatbed is running on an average of about $3.04. One of the things that I do is I use this as well to set the expectations, with my carrier as well. You want $3 to $4 a mile. The national rate, if you're in any of these areas, isn't close to that. So what I do is I have a carrier that runs from the South, and I always tell them, hey, we want to go to the Midwest because we can get a better rate going back. And if we're looking at these two and I'm adding these two together, I think on average, I want to average of probably about $2.49, $2.50 a mile. So I use this to set expectations. I use this to actually, think about where we're going. You always want to plan ahead. And then I want to keep all my options open. The other thing that I do as well is that, I'm also looking at Amazon. A lot of dispatchers that don't do this. For me, I do go through and I look at Amazon. So sometimes I want to have an escape route the whole way. So even when I'm setting my plan in the morning, I want to know if things aren't going my way on the DAP board, on the selectors board, on truck stop. If things aren't going my way there, I want to have an additional escape. And a lot of times I use Amazon to look to see if we can get something moved and going somewhere else. For you guys that dispatch box trucks, this is something that you want to think about as well. You want to keep the Amazon in your back pocket because it can be used as a tool to move your driver into another hot area. So I'm always looking at this. I don't really like the Amazon race. This is probably like a last resort. Some people run Amazon and they do really, really great. For me and my company, with me dispatch, we dispatch, locally 53s, locally with flatbeds. We do over the road as well. Not many box trucks though. We're not really big into the box truck game. But the thing that I will say is that people that are successful with Amazon, you have to kind of learn the game from them, and they actually have it. It is a way to do it. For me, I don't have the ability to, wait that time or to take that time to do so when you're dealing with different carriers. So this is always going to be a last resort for me, which is an escape route. That's some free game. I'm always want to make sure I have an escape route for my carriers. So we're going to look there. I reach out to the brokers. I look at what my rates are. Like I said, I check Amazon. I put my plan in place. I know where I'm going. So I'm going to keep you guys posted and let you know how this load goes. And we're going to get him back before the snow comes in, and make sure that he's happy with what he gets. Again, man, I'm going to continue to do a lot of actual, more videos and more content, expressing things with you guys, and talking and sharing game. And you guys share game with me too as well, man. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. I know I'm starting out slow. My channel is very, very small, but I plan on continuing to build and can plan on continuing to share information, and everybody that's on their journey, man. Again, I'm gonna say it one more time: never give up. Continue to always improve your business, remain professional, stand on your morals, and continue to push, and you'll be successful. Y'all have a good one, man.